Everybody, it's Kyle. Today is video 2 for the day because something happened this morning that reminded me of an experience we had. And it was, I kind of got up a little early and jetted off to work to get a few extra things done. And my wife called me after she dropped off the kids to school and said, "Hey, you kind of ran out without saying goodbye." And the truth is, she was just kind of asleep. And so usually when my wife reaches out to me and says something like that, it means she'd either like to spend time with me or something else is going on. So I decided that I would go ahead and take that opportunity to ask her if she wanted to go to lunch with me. So we met for lunch and had some pizza, and it was nice. And she kind of had a chance to share some things with me and talk to me. And, you know, like we men do sometimes, we try to solve problems. I didn't do that. I was a good boy. I dodged and ducked, or ducked and dodged. And just as she was venting, she was just venting over some things, and kind of let her get that out of her system. So, but I wanted to kind of share with you something my wife does. It's pretty fascinating to me. Actually, it's pretty incredible. And that's this, is my wife can manipulate me really well. And she gets whatever she wants because she knows that if I feel like I'm making her happy, then I'll do anything for her. And I think that's how we are as men, is we'll do almost anything for our wives if we think we're making them happy. Now, some of the families I start working with, what's happened is the wives never seem happy to the men, and so the men stop trying. And that's a real problem, and we have to kind of start fresh. And the wives have to be trained to let the husbands know they are happy occasionally. And the husbands have to not read too much into a wife venting regularly, because they do that. And so there's a little combination of two things. But one of the things that my wife does to me, which I love, is when my kids were a lot younger, and you know, I have 2 sons on the spectrum and I have 6 total kids. So there were times where she was just worn out by the end of the day, and I would get home from work, and early on she would just stick the kids in my face and say, "I've had enough, I can't take it anymore." And she would throw them at me and say, "I'm leaving, I gotta leave for an hour." And I would kind of seethe. I wouldn't like that, right? I just got home, I've been working hard too, now you're throwing the kids at me and you're leaving. It made me feel like she wasn't happy as a mom. And I would, you know, out of obligation, I would do it because, you know, I was trying to be a good husband, but I wasn't happy about it. And so what ended up happening over a period of time is I got more and more frustrated with the whole thing and started seething. And both of us would be unhappy at the end of it. Well, one day I came home, and my wife met me at the door, and she said to me, "I'm so glad you're home, Kyle. You're such a good dad and husband. I sure do love you, and you're like my knight in shining armor when you come home and save me from, you know, things sometimes." And she said, "Today was kind of a tough day. Is there any way you could keep an eye on the kids for a couple hours while I just escaped to just get away for a few minutes? I love you so much. You're such a great dad." And I said, sure, whatever I can do to make you happy, I'm happy to do that. And she said, "Thank you so much." And she gave me a big sweet kiss. And my wife, when she kisses me, I melt a little bit. And so I'm a big fan of my wife. And so I said, "Yeah, whatever I can do, babe." And she left, and I felt good about being a hero and saving her from this craziness and this chaos. And she left for a couple hours. When she came back, she smiled at me and she said, "Thank you so much." And I said, "I'll do anything for you, babe. I'm the dad. I'm the hero, right?" And I was feeling all good about it. And she did it to me a couple times. And, you know, I'm not a genius, but I'm no idiot. It didn't take me long to realize that she was manipulating me. She was getting the exact same thing that she got when she threw the kids at me and said, "I can't take it anymore, I'm leaving for 2 hours." Or when she said, "You're my hero," and she kissed me and hugged me. She was getting the same thing, but she was changing my reaction, and she was letting me know that I was making her feel loved by doing it. And what ended up happening to me over a period of time is I would come home and I would say, hey, babe, how you doing today? And she'd say, it's kind of rough. And I'd say, you know what? Here, take this $20 and go grab a friend and go out and eat dinner with your friend or something. I'll take care of things here. I've got it. I'm the dad. I'm the best husband in the world, right? And so what ends up happening to me is I know how good it makes her feel, and it makes me feel like I'm making her happy. And so I want to challenge you ladies to try this. It didn't take me long to realize what she was doing, but I love it because I get to feel important. And she loves it because when she gets home, I'm not frustrated. I'm happy. I'm happy to give her a chance to escape. So ladies, try it. The next time your husband comes home and you've had a tough day, say, and it'll probably throw him off because you probably never do this. My wife does it all the time. I know what she's doing. I don't care. I like it. She likes it. By the way, I do the same thing with her, and she sends me places too. So each of us get a chance. Try that. Say, you know what? I'm so grateful for you. I know how hard you try, and you know what would make me real happy is if I could just run off for half an hour or an hour, or maybe take a nap, like a 1 hour nap. And thank you so much. I mean, you're my hero. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. And watch what starts to happen. It's fantastic. It'll make both of you so much happier. It'll make your kids happier because you'll be in a better state when you work with your kids and when you have issues. And it just makes for a happier family. So try that. I hope it helps. It helps me, helps my wife, and we thrive. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.